y'all, welcome back to my channel, TheCassanEdit, where I share all things fashion, beauty, and lifestyle, my way of course. Today I wanted to talk about how we as women can get what we want in life. I did a blog post earlier this week about how we can make this world our oyster, and I really wanted to do a video so I can share some examples with you of some things that I've manifested in my life that really blew my mind. I know I certainly haven't arrived, but I know if I keep doing these things, I am most definitely going to arrive. In celebration of Women's History Month, I think I owe this to you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk about what I have on. I am wearing an ASOS sweatsuit that I got a few years back when I was going to Fashion Week in New York. Obviously, that's not happening this year, but it's interesting that I have it on again during this Fashion Week season. This is a heavy hitter. I love it. It's sold out when I got it. I'm really happy I got my hands on it because I don't really see anything much like it. It has this, it's a jacquard material, and it has this beautiful blush floral pink. It's different shades of pink in here, and it is a beautiful material, and it also has a light type of tan color in there. And I'm also wearing an ASOS headband that matches perfectly, so I feel like I'm definitely ushering in the spring season. It's a beautiful day outside, and me and Namaya are definitely going to hit the town later on. And that is my outfit. I'm going to talk a little bit about manifestation, and I wanted to actually read the definition. Manifestation. It says an event, action, or object that clearly shows or embodies something, especially a theory or an abstract idea. I am going to share 3 examples with you today of how I manifested certain things. I went about this in different ways. Some ways they were intentional, other ways they weren't. But what was intentional with those things that I was not intentional about is that I laid the groundwork to bring in good energy and bring good things my way, if that makes sense. Let me talk about the first thing. I'm going to talk about it chronologically in the order of events. Back around the holiday season, I was, getting the house ready. I wanted to do some decor in the house and decorate the tree. I came across an influencer's Christmas tree that she had from years ago. I went ahead and I reached out and I asked her where she got her ornaments from, because I really wanted to do something very simple in that manner. I figured, let me reach out to her and see where she got it. She responded, told me where she got it, and I'm like, okay, Target, go figure. I'm always in Target. But this wasn't the current season. She had got it years prior. But I said, okay, let me go check Target out anyway and see if they have anything lingering or if they came out with those same ornaments that year. I went to Target, and I found just one because I was pretty late. I started all of this late in the game, but I was like, you know what, better late than never. I guess I should preface this by saying that when the year was going to start, I knew for a fact that I needed to cleanse myself of all of the havoc that 2020 wreaked on our lives. And I'm sure this was true for so many of you. I mean, it was true for all of us out here. So I said, I'm going to usher in the year with a new leaf, booked a trip. We were out of here January 1. That was very intentional because I wanted us to come back and feel rejuvenated from the trip that we were going to, especially since we were going to a warm climate. So that right there was a way for me to ensure that we were starting off the year on the right foot. But let me go back. So I got the ornaments, came home. She sends another message to me and says, send me your address and I'm gonna ship them to you. And I was just like, did I just read that right? Did she just say she's gonna ship me her ornaments? And y'all, even though I received them after Christmas, and that is only because shipping was crazy around that time, when I looked at the label, she shipped it out on Amaya's birthday, which is December 22nd, for 2-day shipping, which means she had every intention of me having that for the Christmas holiday. And I don't care that I received them after Christmas. What I care about is the genuine authentic thoughtfulness that came behind her actions. She has no idea what was going on in my life. And for her to just do that sweet, sweet gesture. She does not even know me. I'm just a follower. She doesn't know me. And she sent me those ornaments. So although I wasn't able to use them for the holiday season that just passed, I am absolutely going to use them in the future. I boxed them up and I stored them for the next season. But I simply asked her, and I was genuine. Obviously, I always give her compliments, and I gave her a compliment about the tree that she had decorated, and she felt compelled to do that nice gesture, which to me blew my mind because it was completely unexpected. I was not expecting that she was going to turn around and tell me that she's going to send me her ornaments. It almost felt the same as someone taking off the clothes on their back to hand it to me. That's what it felt like to me, because she didn't just go out and buy another set of ornaments. She gave me her own ornaments. To say that I was moved is an understatement. I was completely overwhelmed by the gesture. That is one example of how I manifested something unexpectedly. I just set the tone. I knew in my mind when we were going into December, the closer we got into the holiday season, my mindset was all about shifting the energy and opening myself up to receive more and to receive better than what happened in 2020. Number 2, I had a picture. I'm obviously decorating this cloffice, and there was a particular photo that I wanted. I saw it on Style by Casanova's page, and she had it in her office, and I knew for sure I wanted it in my office because my theme in here is like a Parisian chic theme, and that was the perfect photo for my office. I'll put a picture up somewhere so you could see. And then I started seeing other people with the same photo, and I'm like, okay, but she had this photo up from like a few years back, so I'm thinking there may be no opportunity for me to get this photo. I found out that it was a photo that came from Home Goods. You guys know I frequent all those TJX stores, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go on a hunt for this photo. And this was back in the summer. So since the summer, before my birthday is in September, so probably July, August, I was looking for this photo everywhere. Every time I made a trip to Home Goods or Home Sense, I was looking for this photo. My husband knew I was looking for this photo. Namaya knew I was looking for this photo. They knew that if I made a trip to Home Goods for cutlery, I was going to make a beeline for the decor and the wall art to go make sure my photo is not just sitting there waiting for me, right? All that to say, I searched for months and months and could not come across it. So one day, I just happened to ask Styled by Casanova about something, and she called me via Instagram. So we video chatted on Instagram. We were talking about something completely unrelated. Just so you know, her and I don't know each other at all. We ended up meeting on Instagram. She was actually calling me so she can help me with something that I had asked about. And like I said, it was completely unrelated to this photo. So as we're chatting, I think I either saw the photo in the background or I brought it up, and she was telling me all about it, and I'm like, I can't find this photo anywhere. I cannot find it anywhere. She's like, really? I got it a long time ago. But I did forget to tell you guys one thing. I saw Decor L do an IGTV on decorating her living room, I want to say, and she had a variation of the photo. And I was just like, oh my gosh, let me ask her if she got this recently. Because if she got it recently, that means maybe it's gonna trickle into my local store at some point. So I reached out and she said, yeah, she had got it recently. So that was good because Nadia from Style by Casanova had gotten it years ago. So that gave me a little hope that, all right, maybe it's gonna show up and I just haven't found it yet. So anyway, she said she had got it for a certain amount, yada, yada, yada. Before she gets off the call, she says, you know what? I'm going to put out a call to my followers and ask them if they see the photo to please let me know. I was just like, wow, thank you so much. That is really, really sweet of you. And I was like, you really want to do that? Like, you would do that for me? Again, guys, she has never met me before. In the back of my mind, I was wondering, like, is she really gonna do this? Like, nah, she's not really gonna do this. Sure enough, I look at her stories later on that day. She put out a call to her followers to ask if anyone sees this picture to please let them know. Probably a week later, she sends me a hit of someone who found it down south somewhere. I think it was like South Carolina. That's when. And then, guys, the floodgates opened. Everyone was responding to her to tell her that they found the picture. So now it was a matter of, who do I choose? You guys, I just want you to know, I knew I wanted that picture in here. So much so, I made room for it. In this IKEA shelving system that I have, I made sure that I made a particular space. There's like an alcove for it. I put a picture there temporarily while I didn't have it. And you can see, because you can see that it's smaller, I knew the measurements of this thing. And I'm like, my photo is gonna be there. I'm just waiting for it to arrive. Finally, she's like, where are you? Where are you located? I tell her I'm in Boston, and she finds someone who's in New York. Perfect. So I link up with the person who is from New York, and she says she'll ship it for me. She's gonna find out about shipping, yada, yada, yada. She's not someone who frequents Instagram, so at one point, communication stopped between us. In the meantime, someone else said they had the photo, and I was about to get it from them. And they were much further. But the shipping was astronomical because of the size. So I'm like, you know what? Let me reach back out to the girl who's in New York, because now at this point, I was headed to DC to go visit my husband who was there. Obviously, I have to head that way, hit up New York. And whenever I head that way, I always go to one of my good friends' houses. Well, since I knew I was doing that, I reached out to her one last time and I said, hey, I'm gonna be in your area. I can actually pick this up physically. You don't even have to ship it. Please let me know. I haven't heard from you. Hope everything's okay. So that's when she responds to me, letting me know that this is, you know, she doesn't frequent Instagram. And she said, absolutely, you can meet up with me. Here's my availability. Guys, I went to New York, stopped by, picked it up, and the photo is here. Like what I had envisioned, where I said I was gonna put it, it is sitting here in the office right now. And I cannot tell you how thrilled I am. That may seem small to you, but you guys, I was very intentional and relentless about getting this photo. And you know how they say the universe conspires? And let me just be clear, when people make that statement, that is God to me. I have to give credit where credit is due. That is God. It's like everything opened up to make sure that I got that photo. That is not just something that can happen for a photo. It can happen for everything else. You need to make room for the things that you want in your life. Just simply make room, and I guarantee you, whatever it is you're waiting for, it's gonna fall on your lap. Like I said, I don't feel like I've arrived, but imagine if I just keep at it. Imagine where I'll be if I just keep at it. Blows my mind. I just know the future is looking bright. The next thing is about shooting your shot. And I think there's a little bit of manifestation in there as well. You guys know I gave you guys tips on getting designer items for less, and one of them was to put in an offer, right? That to me is shooting your shot. I believe I'm a master at doing this. It took me growing some backbone and working out that muscle to really master it, but I have got this thing down to a science. When I say I'm going to get something, consider it done. And I know that It's a mix of me watching my immigrant parents do this. My parents are from Haiti. I have literally watched my parents build this life brick by brick. Particularly my father. Both of my parents are go-getters, but my father is relentless with his determination. And so that, which I for sure know is ingrained in me, allowed me to have the confidence to shoot my shot. You don't need that thing to be ingrained in you. You just need to work it out. Work that muscle, and I promise you, the results will blow your mind. With that said, let me just share with you now. So this is a Louis Vuitton fur hat that has been on my wish list for a long time. This is one of the items, if you watch my wish list video, that I was like, I'm not sharing because I need to get my hands on it first. Because it is so rare and there's very few out there. And if I told one of y'all and y'all went and looked for it, one of y'all might have just grabbed it and I would have missed out on it. I'm sorry. That's how I had to move with this one. But unfortunately, I don't even feel like I'm gonna keep it, but I gotta tell y'all how I went about getting it. This is the Louis Vuitton Chapkalaska Trapper fur hat. I think I said it right. You can see here, it's obviously real leather, and I believe this is sheepskin fur, I believe. I'm not sure. And it has these tassels at the end here. Winter season, so many winters went by and I lusted over having this hat. Never got it, and it was really hard to find. I found it on eBay once and somebody bought it. Then finally I said, all right, I'm gonna really go on a hunt for this. After I missed out on the one on eBay, I went to look for another one and I found this on Poshmark. And when I found this probably months ago, right? Months ago. Just hear me out on what I'm about to say. I wrote down the amount I wanted to spend on this hat. This was listed for $700 more than that. Which I was like, I'm absolutely not paying that. I'm paying whatever it is that I wrote down on that sheet of paper. Because it had been on the market for so long, like I said, I had liked it in Poshmark months ago. And finally I said, it's been on the market for a while. If I go in and put in an offer, the seller might really be compelled to sell because it's been on for so long and they might just want to get this off their hands, right? So sure enough, I went in and I put an offer that was a little lower than what I had written on the paper. That's another tip for you. Because then I thought to myself, if they're going to counter offer, they might just hit with the target number that I have written down. So y'all, I put in that offer. And guess what number they... Of course my camera dies right when I'm about to tell y'all the good part. So guys, guess what number they came back with? Alright, did you guess? Yes. The exact number I had written down. It's almost like they fell into my trap of manifestation. You didn't know this, but I knew I was getting this for the exact price, but you didn't know. But guess who did know? Me. Obviously, these are all small examples, but imagine if this were applied to the bigger things in life. Can you imagine where I'll be if I just keep it up and apply it to my goals and all the aspirations that I have? For example, I know that I want to have 10K followers on Instagram, because it will just make things easier in terms of servicing you guys. If you guys ask me something, you could just go ahead and swipe up. The swipe up feature isn't available until you have 10K followers. So guess what I need to do? I need to be ridiculously intentional about getting 10,000 followers. If you guys want to see what happens whenever I get there, definitely make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification, because I will certainly come back with a follow-up video on where I am with my followers. It's probably going to be whenever I hit that number, because in between I am going to be way too busy being intentional about hitting that goal. The other thing I would say is, I always make sure I say thank you. I'm very intentional about that. I got cards. These are cards that I got from Target. They were like $1. I don't know if you see it there. It says thank you in a beautiful gold script. But at the bottom of that, it says not sent from my phone. Because we live in a culture where everybody wants to send a text message to one another, and nobody wants to write a nice, thoughtful, handwritten note. So much is conveyed and felt when someone sends one and when you receive one yourself. You know you feel good when you get a handwritten note from anybody. These are just some that I got from TJ Maxx or Home Goods. And they're really colorful, beautiful cards, which I like because then it just exudes happiness. And this was $5.50. So it really doesn't cost much to send a handwritten note. Like for example, when I was on my way to DC, I stopped at a friend's house and stayed there. I'm definitely going to make sure that I let them know I'm thankful for them opening up their space to us, and make sure that my gratitude is felt. And you better believe that me putting that out there then opens up the doors for me to receive more. And I'm very sure that that's how me getting the ornaments came about. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have known that that was going to come my way, and she probably didn't know it anyway. But it was how I was moving about and how intentional I was about making sure that the 2020 energy was out the door. And I was like, I am inviting nothing but happiness. And that ended up happening. So if any of this resonates with you at all, let's talk about it in the comments. I know a lot of people always say they don't know where the comments are on YouTube. If you look under this video and scroll down, you'll find the comment box. Let's talk about this. I know I can't be the only one who has examples. I'm sure a lot of you have examples. Let's talk about it because we're all trying to get somewhere. We can certainly all use some motivation, and I'm sure it'll be uplifting for other people to see even your examples of how you've manifested certain things in your life. So I hope you like this video. I know it's a little different from what I share here. This is something I really wanted to put out at the top of the year and did not get around to it, but I'm doing it now. This is resonating with someone out there, and even if it's one person, I'm happy with it. So again, I hope you like this video. Don't forget to comment and talk about what it is that you manifested in your life. And if you want to manifest something, if you want an accountability partner, whatever it is, let's talk about it in the comments. And I will see you guys here for the next video. Bye, y'all.